So we've decided we're gonna talk about the crazy day that we've had today and all the things we encountered on our trip. So first off, the first thing that we said we needed to talk about was the lady who helped us. She was so rude.
She had so much attitude.
She was so mean.
So much attitude from the very beginning.
It's so loud.
And was very condescending too.
Yeah, she was treating you like you were stupid.
Oh,
and she looked so like uninterested in helping us. Like she had no customer service like etiquette.
Okay, look, I get it, right? It's 3 a.m. and you're probably tired. I understand. But we went up to her. We were very polite. We were very nice from the start.
Clearly, we needed a lot of help. We haven't been on a plane since March of 2019.
Wow. Well, we went to where? New York?
Yeah.
The vid check.
Yeah. So then, we send our bags off to check. We check our bags. And we go. She looked in the car, right?
Uh-huh.
We send our bags off. And we go through TSA. Naomi's first. She gets declined. They're like, oh, you have to go back. They need to fix something. And then they run mine and grandma's just to make sure ours get declined too. They're like, we need to make sure something is wrong in the system. So we have to go back. And the lady was there and we ignored her. Because the guy who checked our bags was so nice and helpful. We went to him, but he was standing right next to her. It was kind of awkward. It was really awkward.
I think she purposefully turned away from us. I don't think
I
wanted
think she
to help
did
us either.
He had us like skip the line. But like, we had already been there.
We literally were like at TSA.
And it wasn't like we asked or we threw a fit or anything. He just was like, here, like.
They were so upset.
Oh, let's get grandma on frame. So there was a family, the family that we skipped, it was, I guess a mother and her 2 kids. So angry. Grandma, like I could feel when we walked past them, I could feel the judgment. Like I could feel that they were not happy. But then
I
grandma
felt bad until they had such an attitude and were so rude about it. And even threatened to like complain about the manager. Like they said that they took a photo of him or something.
Yeah, they were taking a photo of him.
Which is terrible because he was so nice. He was such a sweetheart. And they were like
they were staring us down too.
The whole time, the whole entire time. And grandma, she overheard them say,
but I didn't know it was them.
Yeah, so grandma overheard them say they wanted to take a picture of the guy who helped us and show like his manager. But she didn't look at them. Like Naomi and I had seen them. So we're going through TSA and she goes, oh, he's kind of cute. And I'm like, grandma, that's the son. Like that's the family that was giving us all this grief. What do you mean? She was like, oh, I didn't see them. And I was like, well, that's him.
I just heard them talking.
Also, he wasn't that cute.
Napkin?
Napkin? This is the only napkin, I guess. So it's a communal napkin.
Oh, why?
Did you see her face?
I'm holding in my thoughts so that you don't have to cut out a lot of stuff later.
We
you should just bleep it all and be like, guess what Naomi said.
So then, did you cut it in half? Damn. So then we get to our gate. We're all hungry. At this point, none of us slept last night. I woke up at...
I can't believe we're still up.
I woke up, well, we all took like an hour nap on our first flight.
Nah, mine was definitely longer than an hour.
Mine wasn't that long, was it? Maybe an hour.
Mystique, I think, slept the longest.
I went in and out of consciousness, and I felt like
I was the same.
Whenever I was conscious, you guys were sleeping.
Yeah, same. And then at one point I woke up and grandma was up, and I saw that you were sleeping, and I was like, I don't know. I just like woke up. I wanted to watch my K-drama.
In and out was delicious.
I like it. I really didn't want to sleep because I have this thing where it's like, if I'm not willing the plane to stay up, like who's rooting for the plane? Like I don't know that there's somebody dedicated to rooting for the plane to not go down. I woke up yesterday at like 10 something, which means at this point I've been up for, well no, because we slept on the plane. I've had maybe 2 hours of sleep in the past 24 hours. We were hungry. We hadn't eaten. I hadn't eaten since 9 p.m. the night prior. And it was like, what, 5 o'clock already at that point? 5 in the morning. So me and Naomi are like, we're going to go scout. We leave grandma. We're like, we're going to go and look for like a Starbucks or some place to like get breakfast. We reached the Starbucks. Line's long.
Oh my god, yeah.
Line was so long. So while we're waiting, I go use the bathroom.
Oh, I saw that after.
And then I come back. And then a few minutes later, I'm like, or not a few, it was like 10 minutes later. We were in that line for like 30 to 40 minutes. I'm like, oh, Naomi, because we were getting closer to like our boarding time. And I was like, we're not going to have time for you to use the bathroom when we get back. Like, you should go now if you have to go. So she goes. And like 20 seconds after, the lady, we're like second up in line. Like, somebody's ordering, and then it was the guy in front of us, and then it's us. And then there's a lady behind us. And the lady behind us looks to the guy in front of us and goes, would you mind if I skipped you? My flight's leaving. Like, she was like, I'm gonna miss my flight. Keep in mind, the whole time we're in this line, me and Naomi are talking about how afraid we are that we're gonna miss our flight because it's getting closer and closer. Naomi,
and she was doing the same.
No, but we didn't ask anyone if we could skip. We were just, we were just talking about. We were just talking about like
that
we might have to leave if it takes any longer.
And like, for sure, the guy in front of us
could definitely,
and the lady in back of us, they definitely heard us. So it was like, you know, at least somewhat clear that we also had a flight that it was urgent that we got back to. And he kind of like looks at me like he doesn't know what to do, and he's like, sure. And like, I get it, he didn't want to be a. She didn't even really ask me though. The question was like pointed to him mostly, and I was like, you realize that like there's a person in between you and him.
When I come back and Mystique tells me this, I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, like I was failing to grasp the concept at first, and then I realized, and I was like, nobody said like everyone, like, it was just Mystique was like, I didn't want to say no and like be. I looked at Mystique and I said, if I had stayed and she did that, I would have said no. Look, I'm all for normally like if, don't get me wrong, if I was in a situation where like my flight wasn't like leaving and I had time, I wouldn't care if somebody whose flight was leaving skipped me, right? But our flight is also running, like, we're running late. Our flight is boarding.
Well, we got there really early. It was just the line at Starbucks was so long.
We actually cut our order even shorter than what it was supposed to be, just so that Grandma could get coffee and we could all at least get some sort of substance in our system.
Because I was gonna get a nice peach green tea.
I actually was excited to try what I was getting too.
Yeah, I was gonna get a passion fruit. We were like, it's gonna take too long. So we're like, there was a big bottle of water, so we grabbed that for us to share. We got you the coffee, and we were like, and I was gonna get a second croissant. I'm not gonna lie, I was so hungry.
I wouldn't have blamed you, honestly.
The lady behind the lady who skipped us. I don't know if you remember her, but there was a lady behind the lady that skipped us. And like, while you were still in the bathroom, I was having like a full-blown, like, I was like freaking out. I was like, I'm okay, everything's okay, everything's gonna be okay, it's fine, it's fine. And I'm like talking, I'm like literally like, she must have thought I was legit crazy. And I could see her giving me side-eye, but not like judging, more so like, are you okay? Yeah, like, do you need help? And she's looking at me and I'm like, it's okay, everything's okay, we're gonna make it, we're not gonna. And Grandma calls me and she's like, they're boarding the plane. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but we just got here and we waited in the line for 30 minutes. And the lady's just like, you just know when people are like listening to your conversation, and like, it was feeling bad for you. Yeah, and feeling bad for you. We book it back, like
book it like coffee, hot coffee spilled on my hand.
Holding the water bottle and the bag with all this bag that had all of our stuff, and Naomi's holding the Grandma's hot coffee, and we're running, and it's like burning her skin. It's like splashing on her skin, and finally we get back, and Grandma's like, now I have to go to the bathroom. So then we wait a minute or two, she's not back, so we're like, okay, let's go make the line. She comes back, we get closer to the gate.
Oh god, yeah.
As literally, right as we're about to go up.
Like, we're like the second.
We're next in line. We are literally next in line. The lady goes, at this point, no carry-on bags will be allowed. They'll all have to be checked. She like goes over the loudspeaker, and I'm like,
we had to start in the middle, holding everyone back in line, trying to pull out like the electronics. I had my camera in my bag. Mystique had.
I had this, which it has like it has like memory drives and like all my cords and stuff, so I didn't want it to get lost or anything.
And like at the end, even after all that, Mystique had still accidentally forgotten her Kindle in my bag.
Because I had put some stuff in Grandma's bag, but we moved it to Naomi's bag because Grandma wanted to check her bag. But that was in the beginning, before the lady from the whole beginning of the story didn't get us our free bag like we were supposed to have. Whatever.
Yeah, she told us that we could get it at the check.
And
So
then
we went to the check and they were like, no, you have to have
they were
like a tag.
no. We sent our bags off and I'm so sad. And then we literally watched them like kick the bags down a slide.
Oh my god, yeah. They were throwing shit like it was a soccer ball.
It was so bad. When we sit down in the plane, they're like, oh, put everything on airplane mode. So I turn my computer off, I put my phone on airplane mode, my iPad on airplane mode, and then I'm like, where's my Kindle? And then I realized that my Kindle is in Naomi's duffel bag that they punted like a soccer ball down the slide. And I was like,
thankfully though,
needless to say, I spent the next, how long did we travel?
Oh my god, yeah.
Like 6-7 hours?
Yeah, every time I looked at her, Mystique was just like,
when I first realized that my Kindle was like in that duffel bag, I literally was, the guy in front of grandma, he was kind of like looking through the crack and he was like, because I was like, but thank goodness it was fine. When we got out, I was like, when we got our bags, I was like, Naomi, my Kindle, please. First plane, right? And then that's from Miami to Arizona, Phoenix, and we touched down in Phoenix, and we waited in the plane for like half an hour to get off the plane.
Oh my god, yeah. We had gone
Meanwhile,
on time.
we're just watching the time pass, being like, we're gonna miss our flight, we're gonna miss our flight.
Then, okay, the big thing was grandma was like, okay, get up immediately so that we could get out, like fast, before they start pulling down their carry-ons. We get up so quickly, but not fast enough, because everyone in the front has already started, not everyone in the front, someone, I don't know, they just started taking their carry-ons down, and then Mystique made a comment, and I was like, that comment makes so much sense. She was like, I feel like people with carry-ons should get to leave first, and I was
Without
like, that's a very valid point.
People without carry-ons should be able to deboard the plane first.
Because there was a bunch of people in the back, everyone who didn't have a carry-on, who had to check their carry-on, like a line was just forming in the back as we just waited for all the people in the front to take their carry-ons out.
I thought that was so dumb. I was like, we literally could, like, and it helps, it gets people off the plane faster, it helps decrowd the space, you can start cleaning, whatever, and I'm just like, why are we, like, waiting in this line? All we have to do is walk. All we had was our, like, personal item. Like, I had my backpack, grandma had her purse, and we had her backpack. So then we book it to the next gate, which is all the way across the terminal. At this point, we're tired, we're hungry, we have to use the bathroom. We have like 20 minutes to get to our gate, and it's a 17-minute walk.
We got there literally like right as they were starting to board.
Both rides had a fair amount of turbulence, like way more than I was expecting. I was sitting there and I was like,
well, also we had a bag scare,
especially during takeoff.
I almost pooped my
oh my god,
pants,
yeah,
guys.
when we got to the Arizona gate to board our flight to San Jose, I checked grandma's phone and it says your 5 bags are on the way. 5? 1, 2, 3. 3 times 2 equals 6. So I was like, grandma, this is 5 bags. That means one of our bags is not accounted for. So we had to go up to the lady and she was like, well, you guys, it's like under a different reservation, whatever. So that was helpful because she was like, oh,
they terrified me though. Because you guys got up and left.
Oh.
And I was sitting there, and you didn't say where you were going either. So I'm standing up, and I'm looking around, and I'm not seeing you guys in the crowd of anyone within my general vicinity. And even like in the distance, I can't see anything distinguishable because there's just so many people.
You thought we left you on board of the plane?
Yeah, I was so like, screwed. Oh my god. Have I been home alone? In not even my home, in the Phoenix airport, I was home alone. And so I'm just looking at, I even like did a video on like Instagram. I was like, I've lost my family. My family has left me behind. And then I'm like walking around. I can tell that people are looking at me like, is she okay? And I'm just like, oh, family, where have you gone? And then someone moves ever so slightly and I see a pink bag, a pink backpack. And I'm like, is that sister? And then I just like book it in between people, and people are like looking at me because you know how it's like they're like waiting to board. So I just didn't even care, and so I was like, it's C-store.
It's C-store.
And then I ran. I walked over to them.
And then we had our 2-hour flight here.